In a lush forest, bursting with vibrant greens and sunlight trickling through the leaves, the animals often gathered to chat, play, and share stories. One fine morning, the ever-energetic Hare was boasting, as usual, about his speed. His powerful legs and lightning reflexes had earned him the title of the fastest in the forest. But as the Hare bragged, his words carried more than pride. They dripped with arrogance. "Who could possibly beat me in a race? I'm practically flying while the rest of you are crawling," he announced, puffing out his chest. From a quiet corner under an old oak tree, the tortoise looked up, his wrinkled face wearing a small, knowing smile. "You know, Hare," he said slowly, "speed isn't everything. Sometimes a steady pace wins the race." The Hare burst into laughter. "You, a racer? You couldn't even finish a race before nightfall." Unruffled, the tortoise said, "Care to put that theory to the test? A race. Me against you." The forest erupted into chatter. The idea of the slow-moving tortoise challenging the blazing fast Hare was absurd, yet intriguing. Eager for the spectacle, the animals quickly agreed to organize the event. The starting line was drawn, and the route was mapped. Through the meadow, past the stream, and up the hill to the finish line marked by a great, ancient tree. On race day, the forest gathered, excitement buzzing in the air. "Ready, Slowpoke?" the Hare teased, stretching dramatically. "Ready, the tortoise replied calmly. At the whistle, the Hare shot forward, disappearing down the path like a streak of lightning. The tortoise, in contrast, began his journey with deliberate, steady steps. The Hare, racing far ahead, glanced over his shoulder and saw no sign of the tortoise. He chuckled to himself. "I could take a nap and still win," he thought. Spotting a shady spot under a tree near the stream, he curled up, closed his eyes, and soon drifted into a smug sleep. Meanwhile, the tortoise trudged forward. His pace was unchanging, slow but purposeful. The sun climbed higher, and the animals cheered him on as he passed. He didn't stop, didn't rush, and didn't waver. Hours later, the Hare woke up, stretching lazily. "Oh, I suppose I should finish this race," he muttered, confident that victory was inevitable. But as he sprinted up the hill to the finish line, a shocking sight stopped him in his tracks. There, just feet from the finish line, was the tortoise, inching closer with every deliberate step. The crowd erupted in cheers, and the Hare, panicking, bolted toward the line. Yet just as he closed the gap, the tortoise crossed first. The forest fell silent for a moment, stunned. Then, an explosion of applause filled the air. The tortoise had won. Breathing heavily, the Hare slumped to the ground. How did you do it?" he asked, his tone humbled. The tortoise smiled. "You see, Hare, you relied on your speed and underestimated the power of persistence. You stopped. I didn't. Slow and steady won this race." The Hare nodded, finally understanding. That day, he learned a valuable lesson about arrogance and overconfidence, while the tortoise became a quiet symbol of perseverance for all who heard the story. And from then on, the forest echoed with a new saying, "Slow and steady wins the race." Now, what does this story teaches us? This story teaches us the power of persistence. The Hare had all the natural ability in the world, but he lost because he underestimated the power of consistency and discipline. The tortoise, though slow, never stopped moving forward. This simple yet profound truth applies to all areas of life. Success is not always about being the fastest or the most talented. It is about being persistent, patient, and dedicated. Life is a long journey, filled with obstacles and distractions. Like the Hare, many people rush ahead, confident in their abilities, but failing to maintain focus. Others, like the tortoise, understand that true success comes from perseverance, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to their goals. Whether you are chasing a dream, learning a new skill, or facing challenges, remember this: it is not always the swift who succeed, but those who refuse to give up. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe for more stories.